Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm, New Jersey Dev, JT, and the famous TA.
Hey, Steeler Nation, welcome to another episode of Steelers Realm Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, JT, along to the left of me in the heart of Browns country. It's a famous TA. Welcome, bud. How you doing, man?
Hey, I am doing great, JT. Excited to get into this game, believe it or not.
No doubt. No doubt. This we're working up to it. We could be setting some history here coming up this Sunday. To the right, on the other side of the states, New Jersey Dev. How you faring, Dev?
Can't complain.
Election week. Everybody's still on edge. Looking forward to maybe a little bit easier game.
Yeah. No, I certainly can't complain. I'm not that on edge. I don't know if I could speak for the other two people that I do this podcast with, but I'm feeling great. I'm feeling overly optimistic just about everything, and especially this game. So I can't wait to jump into it.
Good. Well, let's do just that. But before we do that, let me make sure to we have kind of a special guest that might be joining us a little bit later. The Boy Wonder may jump in for maybe his predictions or his thoughts against the Cowboys, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely. The more the merrier.
Steelers Kid Zone.
Cool.
Yeah, NFL experience.
Not one that's few for words when it comes to the Steelers. So we'll get some insight there as well, too. But, hey, don't forget to stop out to SteelersRealm.com. A lot of great links there, including one for one of our affiliates, Instacart. Sign up for a new account. Have your groceries delivered. They'll shop for you and drop them off right at the store. So SteelersRealm.com, right at the top. Look for the link. Help us out, man, when you can. So with that said, let's dive in. We faced the Cowboys. This was a team that TAU and I think we had pegged as one of those kind of, I don't know, kind of games where it was positioned, three games on the road, etc. But let's go ahead and get talking about it. All-time history against the Raven or
against the Cowboys.
That was last week, JT.
Yeah, against the Cowboys, we lead 17-15. We've got the Dream Team back in the booth again this week. Is that like 3 in a row or whatever? Jim Nance, Antonio Romo, and then Tracy on the field. It's 2 weeks in a row anyhow, right? Isn't that it? Definitely.
I think we're going to see these boys all season long in the way it's going.
The way it's going, no doubt, too. Weather's a non-factor. We're in Jerry world. And, we come up against a team who's really in a bad place. They're 2-6 on the season and lost the last 5 of their 6, and then went through drubbing by the Eagles last week. We kind of know how that feels. The Eagles have, pretty tough team too. So this is a wounded animal we're going down there to face. Thoughts on that, TA?
Well, I'll tell you what, JT, as you already alluded to, man, at the beginning of the year, I'm looking at this schedule and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, why do we have to play the Cowboys? We're at AT&T Stadium to boot, where we're 0-2. You got Dak. You had all the stories about, hey, they're going to the Super Bowl. They're sure lock. You got McCarthy. He's got the little Pittsburgh ties. Granted, he's only 1-2 against us. But it just seemed like even in the month of November, the Cowboys are holding a 4-2 edge over us. Going into the Dome, I didn't like the way this game looked at the beginning.
No, I didn't either.
Now I tell you, it's a little bit different, but I am afraid it could be that, and we'll save that for later.
Yeah, definitely. And Dev was felt pretty confident about this game, if I recall correctly. And of course, kind of gave us some crap last week after the series of events that took place and put the Cowboys in the position they're in there. But anyhow, before we get into the numbers, let's take a quick peek inside the realm for some Steeler news. Man, Stephon Tuitt named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Congratulations, Stephon. Well, it was definitely a solid performance he put into. And then
well deserved.
Yes,
No,
it
sure.
certainly was. And then a player that we've been reaching out to too. Hopefully we can connect with him one of these days, but was on IR. Stephon Wisniewski activated back to the active roster again. So don't think you'll see much action here. I didn't think he played. TA, you can kind of fill us in on their injury updates in a bit here, but it's good to see him move back to the active roster just in case.
It's always good to have depth. Who knows? Maybe we might see him at church camp. We were invited to church camp by his daddy, so
That's right.
who knows?
By Leo, definitely. Well, Dev, hey, do you want to jump into the numbers? We sure saw a bunch of interesting stats and numbers. Hopefully you share some with Steeler Nation here.
Yeah, it's everybody's favorite segment, by the numbers. So we'll kick it off with .452, which is the combined record of Steelers opponents so far this season. A 23-28-1 record, .452. Percentage on the wins there. So in comparison, the Chiefs, their opponents, 23-35, .39 or .397. Seahawks, 21-31, .404. So we're not just playing a bunch of chumps here. We've gone through our gauntlet recently and we got through it. So next number is 250. Juju Smith-Schuster is the third youngest player in the NFL history to register 250 career receptions before his 24th birthday. His 24th birthday is November 22nd. Next number is 61. The Steelers have the second most regular season road wins in the NFL since 2007 with 61. In that time span, they are 61-45-1, second only to the Pats, who have won 72 in that time span. But hey, we're coming up on those pricks. We're right behind them. Next number will be 40. Ben Roethlisberger's conversions on third down this season with a minimum of 60 pass attempts, which he has 40 of them. Ranks first in the NFL. He also ranks third in the NFL with 74.3% completion percentage on third down, 615 passing yards, and he has a 114.5 passer rating, which is seventh. And the Steelers have a 49.5% rating on third down, which is third best in the NFL this year. I know we've harped on that, but they're actually third in the NFL. 36. Mike Tomlin has 36 career victories over the NFC. He's 36-18 all time, but he's only 15-12 on the road. Is that a storyline here? We shall find out. 26 plus. Yeah, 26 plus. The Steelers are in rare company here so far, folks. They have scored 26 plus points in 7 straight games. The other teams to do so: 2018 Chiefs, 2015 Pats, 2007 Pats, 2013 Broncos, and the 2000 Rams, the greatest show on turf. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt.
Interesting.
Kurt Warner, Marshall Falk, greatest show on turf. All right, we're coming down to the end here. 19.1. Robert Spillane had a 19.1 passer rating allowed. Minimum of 10 targets in the weekend win against the Ravens. The next closest, Azeez Al-Shaair out of San Francisco, who allowed a passer rating of 33.1. So Spillane was tops in the league.
Thank God he was playing in a phone booth, because if it was anything he had to chase down, that might have been higher.
And the last number here is 9. With Bud Dupree's strip sack of Lamar Jackson last week, he forced his 9th turnover caused by pressure since the start of the 2019 season, the most in the NFL during that time span. I got to go hit the oxygen, much like Jerome Bettis up in Denver in the 2005 AFC Championship game after that one.
Well, Dev, I also thought you would give a little shout out to Mr. Tomlin, that he is now the winningest African-American coach in NFL history, as last week he just passed Mr. Tony Dungy.
Yeah. I threw that number in there last week. If he wins, he'd be the winningest, and Todd just gave him a shout out.
I'm going to give him a shout out because for all you Steeler fans who think we ought to fire him and get rid of him, just remember someday you'll be at Canton watching him put on the gold jacket thinking he was terrible. And with that being said,
they all want
well,
too.
You always have your haters, right? Always
absolutely.
Have your haters.
Yeah, everybody says fire Tom and hire McCarthy because he's a Pittsburgh guy. So,
and what a fine job McCarthy's doing against the team we're going to play this week, the Dallas Cowgirls. So let's hear about an injury report. Are we ready? I will say this, guys.
Let's dig in.
I say this. Cowboys are looking in a whole lot better shape than we are. But then again, we just came off of 3 real physical games. I mean, we've got some nicks and bruises. And I kind of want to ask a question here real quick. Seeing that we're 7-0, all right, odds of us going undefeated, we're playing against the odds. Lord, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Don Shule up there choking on his champagne as he goes to say, oh, my God, they did it. My question to you, since we do not have a bye week, do we start looking over the course of the next 3 games prior to the Ravens on Thanksgiving, going ahead and benching some players to give them a bye week through this 3-game stretch?
I mean, that's a good question because, we got a 78% chance to win the game at the Cowboys. Next week, we got a 72% chance to beat the Bengals. And then at the Jaguars, we have an 80% chance to win that game. So that's a good point, TA. Do I see it happening? Maybe in the second half, but I don't see us opening the game with it.
Something to think about. Because we're all shooting towards that lustrous bye week right now, and we already know there's only one golden ticket handed out. We also heard some rumors here this week that if COVID hits and we have to shorten this, nobody may get that golden ticket. So at what point do we start looking within the season to give some of our key players breaks, i.e. Cam Hayward, who looks like he's going to go ahead and play, but could probably use a little break. But we don't have very much depth because Isaiah Buggs got a little ankle, did not participate. Alua is probably not going to play. We'll probably get Wisniewski back. Pouncey's a little bit dinged up, Dangerfield, and why not give Hilton another week to go ahead and rest his shoulder? On that said, Cowboys are looking much better. The only one we got to worry about is Ezekiel Elliott. And if anybody remembers, the last time we played, he ran off a 32-yard touchdown run with 10 seconds to go. Hopefully he springs that hamstring long before we get to that part in the game, because we are going up against 20th overall offense of the Cowboys. They are, believe it or not, even without Dak, still first in passing. Now, the rushing has been a little bit spotty, even behind Zeke at 18th. And as we already know, we rank 4th. So who are we going to really have to worry about? We got to worry about Ezekiel. We got to worry about the rookie, CD Lamb. And let's not forget, Amari Cooper has resurrected his career in Dallas. So what's our matchup, guys?
Well, rest shouldered. Robert Spillane takes care of Zeke. Zeke's coming in with 3.9 yards per carry, 65.1 yards per game average. He has been getting blown up in pass coverage. He's been put on highlight reels this year, getting just smacked in the backfield, trying to go down in pass protection. I'm sorry. So I think him meeting friggin' Spillane in the hole early on, give him a lick early on. I don't think we see much of Zeke this week. But if Spillane can't get the job done, do we see Avery Williamson? That's the question.
Well, I was going to jump in on that. Certainly. Yeah. I think we'll see him. I mean, if you're throwing it out there, excuse me, I think you're going to see him in a limited role anyhow. At least another body, maybe just spelling him. I'm not so sure that we're ready to see him take Spilly's place just yet, but.
And that's a good question. I mean, are we looking at bringing him on slowly over the course of the next couple of weeks, have him ready in prime for against the Ravens game? I mean, because Avery is kind of like Spillane and Vinny. They're not the greatest in coverage. I mean, Avery's got a little bit more coverage skills, but not much. And I mean, that's where we're really going to need some help over that middle.
Yeah, and he's coming over from a Greg Williams ran defense with the Jets, so ours is a little bit more complex, I'd say. I don't know if he'll be up to speed by this week, but it will be interesting to see. I mean,
well, and the good news is let's remember he did cut his teeth on Dick LeBeau.
Who, Greg Williams?
No, Avery Williamson. He started with the Titans. Dick LeBeau was the defense coordinator.
Oh shit! Cut his teeth. Yeah. That is whoa, TA. That's a good point there. I didn't even know that.
Absolutely. So this is the 3-4 is not a stranger to him. Let's not make no mistake.
Shit, we should have asked Coach Malarkey what his thoughts are on Avery Williamson. I'm sure he wouldn't held back. But our next key matchup here, it's really the question mark, JT, right? Who we getting a quarterback?
Yeah, that's really, I think, what it boils down to here, don't you guys? Really? I mean, if this is a one-trick pony with Zeke, and we shut down the run, I mean, what's left? So who's going to start is probably like the minor of the 2 points. Is that what is going to start? I guess I don't know, and not to knock these guys. I'm being facetious here, but seriously. Well, what kind of threat are they going to pose other than maybe just us not being prepared for some things they might do because we have very little film on them?
And that's the one thing that kind of concerns me a little bit is we have no film on these guys. Odds makers may say Cooper Rush has got the push on this because, of course, he backed up Dak last year. But, Gilbert looks like he might get the nod. And at the same time, we seem to struggle against the backup quarterback. Hence, anybody remember earlier this year against the Broncos?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's between Gilbert and Rush, and everybody remembers Garrett Gilbert. He came in the national title game in 2009 when Colt McCoy got hurt. He played okay against Alabama with Texas. He was then beat out and had to transfer to SMU. He's bounced around 7 different teams since then. Also played in the AIF. And in terms of Rush, he's a third-year guy out of Central Michigan.
Hey, he does have a Super Bowl ring, though.
He does. Wouldn't that be nice to be in a practice squad, get a Super Bowl ring? He has one with the Pats. So back in 2015, that is Gilbert. But Rush, he's third-year guy out of Central Michigan. He's only thrown 3 career NFL passes. So that goes back to JT's point and Todd's point that there's not a lot of film on these guys. But Rush is going to be 100% seeing a lot of Rush on Sunday, specifically from our guys, Stephon Tuitt. So that's the matchup. Whoever the hell's starting a quarterback for the Cowboys for Stephon Tuitt.
And I think all in all, the only thing these two guys can really, truly hope for is that they don't spend the entire game looking up at the big screen at AT&T while they're lying on their back.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Any other threats? What about Amari Cooper?
Yeah, you always got to watch out for him. You can't forget about that guy. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. I know Todd said he resurrected his career, but he made the most of those Pro Bowls in Oakland when they were terrible. So in terms of winning wise, he did resurrect his career, but he's right back to where he started. He leads the team with 54 receptions and 2 touchdowns. I expect Joe Hayden to be matched up with him just about all day.
Yeah. And I'll take that matchup still. Like our odds there.
Are you on the Joe bandwagon again?
I'm on the Joe bandwagon. He's got 66 committed penalties in his career, 175 deflections.
Hey, Joe knows football.
That's right. And I just love his energy, man. I just love his. Okay.
I have a shirt that says that.
It's going back for more, man. He'll just keep going back at you for more. And sooner or later, he's going to win that matchup overall. He's going to come out victorious. So, I get mad at it too.
Well, here's the thing. We still got the team clown, Steven Nelson, going up against the rookie. How do you think he's going to fare?
Against CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because last week, Willie Snead, who you guys blew off, and all the Steelers defense blew off, he was able to, certainly make a day of it with everybody keying on Hollywood Brown. So let's hope so. What's the advantage here, though, guys? We can break this offense versus defense down all day. Who's got the advantage? Steeler D, Cowboy O.
I'm going to say the Cowboy O.
2.
Do you guys really believe that? No, the defense has got this 100%.
Seriously?
Come on
Okay.
now.
All right.
He's got 3 jars of 3 Jello jars of moonshine already down. If he's thinking that,
stick a fork in that, please. Let's move on. The only way the Cowboys offense beats the Steelers defense is if the Steelers defense doesn't go on the field. So, and on we go. So, how do you think Big Ben's going to fare? We'll get into our score predictions, but before we do that, hey, you know what? It's time. I got to reorder. It's time for CBDs. SteelersRealm.com, your source for some of the best CD products in the world. Diamond CBD, thousands of CBD products there. Go out to SteelersRealm.com. LT, you'll be guiding your way. Click on his link, and it'll take you through there. And your purchases help us out a little bit too. So, moving right along, let's jump into the injury report. TA.
Steelers fans, what he's saying is go out there and buy some damn CDB and put Steelers Rum in there because we need to make some money, honey.
That's right. Got to keep this glorious podcast coming your way.
Well, as far as the defense goes for the Cowboys, I mean, let's face it, really the biggest thing that we have to worry about at this point in time is we got to worry about Aldon Smith. But that may be in our best favor at this present time and moment because he is limited participation so far. He does have a banged up knee. So I'm feeling pretty confident with our offensive line going ahead and hold him. Now, you can't forget about the middle linebackers in Lee and I think is Vander out or is he still on there?
Vander Esch?
Out? Yeah, is Vander Esch out for the season?
No, he's still in there, I thought.
All right, so
brought him back.
So we got those 2 guys that you can't forget about. And here's the other thing. The Dallas Cowboy defense right now is our defense last year. You got scrub quarterbacks, and that defense is playing some pretty top-notch defense. Even though they may be ranked only 32nd, they are causing turnovers. They're keeping the boys in the game. We've got to be very, very ball conscientious. With that being said, the weapons we got to look out for is Smith, Trevon Diggs, Jaylon Smith, and Sean Lee. Yeah. And now we're going to break into some matchups because I think we might fare halfway decent here.
Yeah, they do have the 32nd ranked rushing defense as well in the league. But we want to see how Big Ben does this week. We want to see how Biggie Benny Boy does this week and how our receivers fare. And the first matchup would be Trevon Diggs versus Chase Claypool. Diggs is 6'1", 205. He's a second-round pick out of Alabama, 51st overall. Won a couple slots after Claypool and Dobbins, but he's doing well so far. He leads all Cowboys defensive backs in tackles with 41, 2 interceptions, 10 passes defended, and 1 forced fumble. Claypool scored last week, but was quiet outside of that first half fumble.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So he did tie Martavius Bryant's record for most touchdowns to start a career through seven games with that TD, with his 7th. But the question is, it's really been a next man up mentality at wide receiver this year as well. Do we see Chase step back up this week as the primary target? Is it James Washington? Is it Deontay? Is it Ray? Is it Juju? Is it Vance?
That's the number one question. That is the number one question. I mean, last week we knew we had to get physical. This week, do we do it with speed?
Yeah. Very well, could be.
Maybe Jalen Samuels. We tried to get him involved a bunch last week for some reason.
Right. Yeah,
and he looked rusty because we hadn't really seen him all year. He looked really rusty.
Who knows? Hey, maybe Pharrell Edmonds might get some action. He's been active in recent weeks.
That's right. He came up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to see a little razzle dazzle between Chase and McFarland, to be honest with you.
Yeah, McFarland will tackle himself or forget his assignment.
Very possible.
But give him that one, man. His eyes, I guarantee his eyes are the size of saucers, man. When he saw that hole, and he just accelerated past beyond what the turf could hold him.
Yeah.
He came out of his shoes on that cut, but unfortunately didn't make it. So how about Chooks, man? How about Chooks? How do you think
Chooks. He'll be going up against T. already highlighted Aldon Smith, who is the definition of a second chance story. I mean, this is already his 10th chance, literally his 10th second chance. I mean, you could go through this guy's rap sheet and it would take you probably the better part of 2 hours to read through a bunch of this stuff, man. But
I'll say this, Dev. Hats off to Jerry Jones for taking a chance on him, man, because he showed up this year in shape, ready to play, and he's been a model citizen. If you didn't know his backstory, I mean, you'd think this guy is something special.
Well, I mean, he did the typical route that most players take whenever they're on their second, third, fourth, fifth chance is they go to the Oakland Raiders, doesn't work out there, and then they go to the Cowboys. But yes, he has been a model citizen off the field, and he's got five sacks already this year, which leads the team, 35 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 passes defended. Chooks, I mean, he gave up a sack last week, and I think he has in consecutive weeks, so that's certainly a matchup to highlight. The last matchup to highlight here would be another Smith, Jaylon Smith versus Big Al. You know, everybody remembers Jaylon Smith because he was the guy that went down in the Fiesta Bowl against your Buckeyes, Todd, with the torn ACL in a game that didn't really matter for both teams and was the reason why most college players now opt out of playing in bowl games so they don't hurt their draft chances. You know, he made the Pro Bowl. Oh, go ahead.
Why don't they call it the Smith rule now?
They should. Well, Jake Butt also got hurt in the Orange Bowl that year. Big time tight end out of Michigan, and that was it.
Call it the Butt Smith rule.
Yeah, I know. I remember the next year they were like, Christian McCaffrey is such a dickhead for not playing in the Sun Bowl because Jalen Smith, Jake Butt, you get hurt in a big time bowl, hurt your draft stock. But he did make the Pro Bowl last year, first time. He does lead the team with 82 tackles already on the year. He's not a big sack guy, though, only, a half sack on the year. He does, however, have 6.5 tackles for loss. So he's going to be loading the box when a run play they think is going to be coming. And he's also okay in coverage, 2 passes defended. But Big Al did extend his regular season games played in streak to 87 last week. So can Big Al handle this stud?
Absolutely, man. He's a Ranger.
Walker, Texas Ranger. And then lastly here, the guy to watch out for, it's going to be Sean Lee, Pittsburgh boy out of Upper St. Clair, Penn Stater. That's why probably I made him the guy to watch out for on the format. But that's besides the point. He won a Whitfield basketball title his senior year at USC with a broken foot, even after accepting that Penn State scholarship. He's had an 11-year NFL career and only has played one complete season. I mean, the determination of this guy to keep going back out there year after year after year after getting hurt is second to none. He was reactivated last week and made a tackle. That's why I made him the guy to watch out for, actually, because he was reactivated last week. Nothing to do with Penn State. But could we see him colliding with James Conner this week? Could we see him making a difference?
I don't know about making a difference, but I will say this. Bringing in Van Der Esch has definitely picked up Sean Lee's game a hair because Sean thought he was pretty much the man. When they brought in Van Der Esch, and remember, Sean Lee got hurt, and that's what made Van Der Esch the man. Now they're kind of playing together. So it's going to be interesting watching how that middle of that lineup works against our running game.
32nd ranked rushing defense. Well,
it is.
What do we? Who's got the advantage? Cowboys defense, Steelers out.
That's another real difficult choice here.
Steelers out. Okay, there we go, folks. You heard it here first. The Steelers out have the advantage over the Cowboys D on Sunday. Before we hop into our score predictions here, though, folks, we got our tip for tap poll of the week. If you haven't yet, check out our guy Tip for Tap on Twitter. I mean, they're bringing in next level to polling and fan engagement that you won't be able to see anywhere else. That's for sure. He'll be tagged in the episode details as well as when we tweet this podcast out when it gets released tonight. But the Tip for Tap poll of the week is 40 points this game, or is it a trap game? Are we dropping a 40 burger, as JT would say, a 40 burger?
40 burger.
Or is this a trap game? That's the question.
All
right. So
tip tap.
So what are your two's prediction?
All right, let's get into it. You know, we actually have our special guest here. The Boy Wonder just jumped on. Say hello, Boy Wonder.
Hi.
Well, hi, Boy Wonder.
How we doing, buddy?
Good.
We're going to get some predictions from him too. So who wants to start it off?
Let the Boy Wonder. He's got the show.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Boy Wonder.
Jump
what do
on
you
in
think?
there.
What's your first of all, what's your take on the Cowboys? You think we can take them? You think we can go 8-0?
Yeah, but I didn't know they had all these good players on their team.
Cowboys?
Yeah, I know they had Ezekiel, Elliott, but I didn't know they had all these good players.
Yeah. Well, they do. They, you know, they're still NFL players, so it's not going to be that easy. So, how many touchdowns do you think Steelers will pull off?
3.
3 touchdowns, 21 points, and field goal or 2 or what? What do you think?
1 field goal.
1 field goal. Okay, so that would be 24. And then how about the Cowboys? How do you think they'll fare?
I think they'll get 17 because they'll get 2 touchdowns and then 1 field goal, I think.
Think? Okay. 24-17. You heard it right here. Soothsayer, the Boy Wonder, the man with the call on the game. All righty.
All right. Well, go ahead, Batman. There's always a Batman to the Boy Wonder.
Certainly is. I say, you know what? I would take the points. Steelers given what? 14?
13.5.
14. I would take that. I say Big Ben puts up some numbers. I say we do get a 40 burger, but I think we'll you know, they'll have a say in the game too. So let's see, 38. I'm going to go 41. Going big here, 41. And I like the 17 number too. So Steelers 41-17 and cover.
There we go. There we go. Who's up next? Is it me here? Oh shit, it's me. Let's see here. The Steelers will score 45 points. We'll run it up.
Oh
Whoa.
man. Okay.
We'll pull an old Tommy Osborne, an old what the heck's his name? TA, you always shout him out, the old Barry Switzer. We'll run up the score down in Texas, right next to the Red River. And Steelers score 45, and I think we hold the Cowboys to 6 points, 45-6.
Wow.
Steelers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
TA,
I just want Steelers Nation to know right now, in the history of the Cowboys versus the Steelers, or vice versa, however you want to look at it, there has never, ever been 40 points scored by either team in this game. The most has been 37 points, and that was dating back to 61.
Oh.
Most of it is always about 35 where it sits. So I am not jumping on the 40 burger, boys. Okay. Even though this here should be the lock of the week, as Devil will go ahead and break into us, I am going to look a little bit more conservative, and I am going to jump on 35-27.
35-27. Heard it here first.
Okay.
They're
Keeping it close.
somehow going to score 27 points against us. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Okay.
But around the AFC
All
North.
right. Well, before we let him go.
Oh, shoot.
Yep.
I thought
Before we let him go, let's let the boy Wonder chime in his thoughts too on as we go around. So still hot in the north, as they say, hot in the kitchen. All right. Ravens 5-2 this week going up against the Colts. Boy Wonder, what are your thoughts on that? Think Ravens win that one, or do you think the Colts have a chance at it? They're playing at Colts, but really home advantage isn't really home advantage anymore these days. But what do you think? Colts or Ravens?
I want the Colts to win, but I think the Ravens are definitely going to win.
I think they're going to come back after that tough loss to the Steelers.
Yeah,
boys.
It's in the RCA Dome.
Brownie.
Still the RCA Dome out there. Or is it Luke? It's Lucas Oil Stadium.
Lucas Oil,
Where
Yeah.
things are slick.
Slick surface out there. Lots of ACLs go down. But
Actually, I look for the
Brown?
Ravens to go ahead to lose back-to-back weekends.
that'd be sick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be nice. Create a little separation.
And I do have to apologize to you guys. I got a little excited. I forgot that there was a game back in '66 where the Cowboys did beat us 52-21. So the 40 burger could still be there. I'm not thinking it's happening, but I want to go ahead and make that correction.
Okay, well, good. So it has happened.
Todd
once.
over here thinking he was friggin' Beano Cook for 5 minutes.
Hey, I was right there, buddy. But I had to go ahead and I had to check my stats on that, and I was like, oh man. Hey,
All good, man. It happens.
I'm okay. Hey, look, I'm a big enough man to admit when I'm wrong, man. This isn't Fox News. I mean, we try to put out the truth.
Oh man, they're attacking your own news station there, Todd.
I didn't say that was my news station. That was you.
Hate to say it. Got the Browns next at 5-3. Last week they lost 16-6 against the Raiders in a game that I guess Hurricane Zeta affected. Did you see some of those kicks in that game? I don't know why they kept kicking the ball, but this week they got the Texans. What's the boy Wonder think? The Browns versus the Texans this week.
Oh, I think the Texans are going to win it, but by just one touchdown. And I think the score is going to be 23-31.
Nice.
All right.
Browns and Ravens both losing this week. We'll take it. And then we got the Bungles.
Yeah.
Bungles
2-5.
Yeah, but hey, remember we called it hangover game last week for the Titans. They the Bungles beat them 31-20. This week they got a bye before they play us. Everybody's coming to play us on a football bye. Joey B. He's gonna be good. Yeah. He needs to just get out of Cincinnati.
Well, I'll tell you what, enough of the AFC North. What we really want to talk about is the Steel City Star and how this guy is putting out
Steel City Star
videos.
Spotlight of the week. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Well, can I get to the spotlight? Yeah, I just wanted to build him up a little bit. But go ahead, Dev. I know how much you love him.
My bad.
No, go right ahead.
Give him a little sugar. I thought you were going to hop into our player. No, you keep going.
Give him a little sugar. I just wanted to tell the Steeler fans, look, if you're not out there checking out the Steel City Star, if you're not looking at his videos, you do not know what you are missing. He is bringing content to us old timers that really love the game. When the shoulder pads were bigger than mini skirts back in the day, believe it or not, they really were. This week, he is going to spotlight one of my all-time favorite Steeler players. And I need you guys to check it out because anybody who's been listening, you all know how much I love this guy. And I just want to give a special shout out to Mr. Neil O'Donnell. our Steel City Star Steelers Spotlight of the Week.
JT, you better take the earbuds out of the kids' ears for this one. Just saying, man. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I can see where this is going.
I'm sorry I cut you off, Todd. That was beautiful, beautiful. Shout out to our friend there, Steel City Star. I thought you were just chomping at the bit to go into Neil.
No.
At this point, I don't see any point in going on any further. Steeler
Well,
Nation.
Neil's, we'll share this video after. Neil's best remembered for remember that game back in October of 1991 where he was inserted for the Bubster. And he threw 2 touchdown passes against the Giants when we were down, 20-0. Brought us back, tied the game in the fourth quarter with a 5-yard touchdown pass to Eric Green, tie it 20-20. And when it went to overtime, Matt Barr kicked a 44-yard field goal for the Giants and beat us. But the Bubster took us to Super Bowl 30. Remember that, guys. I'm sorry.
The Bubster?
Neil O'Donnell took us to Super Bowl 30. Okay?
Wait.
We lived and died by it.
So, and you're absolutely right. So
I love the Bubster. Sorry.
We have his most favorite highlight of when he was inserted and his most favorite highlight when he exerted.
He lost both games, but it's besides the point. Neil O'Donnell needs to be appreciated more, I think, in the Pittsburgh circles.
He's still 3 yards
He
short.
does. And you know what? It's unfortunate the way he left there, too. That was a tough time. Free agency was taking its tolls on especially that team. There probably nobody felt as bad about what happened than Neil O'Donnell, I guarantee you. So, but he got us there to another Super Bowl appearance. So, just a bad couple throws. Was just watching a preview of what was his name? Larry Brown? Was it Larry Brown?
Yeah, downtown Larry Brown.
And as the great,
he was kind of like he was very classy about it. The way he described, how he thought Neil one just kind of slipped out of his hands. The one of them just slipped out of his hands. The other one, we got a different explanation on that from Randy Fuller when he was on back about that. But anyhow, TA.
All I want to say, JT, is in the words of the immortal Steve Miller. Go on, take the money and run.
He did.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
He did. Good.
Go
good
on,
for you.
take the money and run.
Speaking about money and taking it and running, we got Degenerate Dev's lock of the week. Hey, we went 1-2 last week, folks. We're sorry, but we're 14-10 on the year. Okay. The reason we went 1-2 last week, and we've had some losing.
You know why, Dev? Because I didn't shade you last week. I let you have your glory because these guys have been 3-0 all year long.
Yeah.
I didn't save you Steeler fans last week, but that's going to change tonight. Go for it, Dev.
Yeah. You didn't fade me last week. You're right. Well, we went 1-2 last week because I jumped on the Thursday night game, and I have a history of if you're going to jump on the Thursday night game, the rest of the weekend is screwed because you're chasing for the rest of the weekend after you lose. So with that being said, we're going to take Green Bay -6.5, buy a half a point there, bring it down to 6 tonight, Thursday at San Francisco. We're going to redeem ourselves. And then we got on Sunday, Carolina +10.5 at Kansas City. 10.5 is a lot of points, just like the Steelers. 14 points is a lot of points. And then we're going to follow that up with Arizona -4.5 against Tuitt in Miami on Sunday. I believe it's Sunday later on in the day. It might be Sunday night. I don't know. I just looked at the lines. I didn't look at the times. But Tuitt was a fluke last week. The Dolphins defense scored like 10 touchdowns. Ride with Kyler Murray in Arizona. For Steeler fans still listening out there, Cowboys are 0-8 against the spread this season. Remember that. Remember that. And Ben Roethlisberger's passing total, if you want a little prop bet, if you want to prop something up on Sunday, 255.5 passing yards. I think he's going over.
I'd take the over there. No doubt. Well, gentlemen, hey, I'm looking forward to this weekend, man. couple days to go, but this should be a fun, comfortable day. So before we say goodbye, don't forget, well, I don't even know if we've really teased this yet, but we have a special guest coming up.
Tease it up.
Monday, we're going. Monday to break down the results of the Cowboys game. It's former NFL San Francisco 49er great Joe Montana center, and also a Fox and NFL and college football announcer Randy Cross coming on Monday, which we're all pretty excited about too. So looking forward to catching up with him and his take on the NFL these days, as well as some NFC insight as well too. So Steeler Nation, thanks for hanging out with us. Careful in the hot tub, guys. We'll see you next time. Special thanks to the boy Wonder for his insight. Appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome.
Let's go Steelers.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Steelers Nation. Steelers Nation. Do not let this be a trap game. We need you all out there. Positive thoughts. Turn off Mark Madden. Do not listen to him this week. Positive thoughts. Good night, Steelers Nation.
Steelers Nation, the theme song of the team this year has been Walk in Yo Trap, Take Over Yo Trap. This ain't going to be a trap game.
Nope. All right, guys. We'll see you Sunday.
Check back next week into the Steelers Realm podcast.